Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. Well, today felt like a great day to do an update on Jasmy, so that's exactly what I got for you in this video. So it's been roughly about a week or so since my last Jasmy video talking about the circulating supply. This video, I'm absolutely going to be talking about circulating supply, as well as a few other pieces of news. In particular, Hera, the CFO, has posted a couple of different tweets which are very relevant, and I found some additional information which I think the community as a whole would find valuable in regards to CoinMarketCap and the circulating supply number. So that being said, that's what's going to be included in today's video. If you enjoy the video today, make sure to hit the like button. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. All right, so I want to kick this video off by focusing on some tweets that Hera, CFO of Jasmy, has posted recently. Now, obviously, the big thing that we're going to be talking about in today's video is going to be circulating supply, but I do want to mention two other tweets that he posted, which I feel are very relevant and I've not previously discussed as he just posted them over the last week, all right? So the first one here is on March 3rd, where it says, March 11th, in cooperation with Sagan Tosu, which we sponsor, we will hold a drone show, which has been a hot topic at the Tokyo Olympics. And I gotta say, I remember that, all the drones doing the show at the Tokyo Olympics. Thought that was really cool, right? Now, we will also hold the Jasmy airdrop project, which will give away a total of 3 million yen. So they're not only doing an airdrop, but they're actually doing what appears to be an airdrop where the drones are going to basically make out like a QR code. So that's really neat. I think that's super cool. They announced that that's on the horizon, right? Now, something else here that he mentioned on March 8th, he says, Jasmy is launching a project to value qualitative information such as happiness through its proprietary AI engine. The first phase of the project is limited to 100 participants who will be awarded 5,000 Jasmy. That's interesting in the sense that I'm not even really sure what he's talking about in terms of measuring happiness and what that looks like. But what it does tell me is that they are looking at different projects that they can do with Jasmy. So that's where I find this interesting because not every crypto project starts out with a concrete idea and stays that way the whole time. In the video that I did yesterday on Veracity, they were a perfect example of this. They've changed over time and the business has, matured, right? So there's different parts of it now. And that kind of looks like what he's saying here is essentially that we're launching a project to value qualitative information. So it's a project. So they're going to see what it delivers. So I find that interesting as well. Now, here's where we get to the meat and potatoes of this video. So obviously, the big concern in the community kind of throughout has been surrounded on this circulating supply issue and what's going on. There's been a lot of red volume in the chart. Well, all of a sudden, we had some huge green volume. And where it's coming from, essentially, is basically this post here. So he says, the foundation here is an external organization that was initiated and formed by our owner. Its existence is a fact. Our policies are shared, and we partially collaborate with it. However, they operate completely independently when it comes to setting KPIs, executing investments, all right? So it's this post right here from Jasmy Foundation. So if you click on this, I got to go ahead and translate it here. So translated, it says, announcement of metaverse fund. That's interesting. So from March 8th, the Jasmy Metaverse Fund was officially licensed and started operating. So this is a new development. I was not previously aware of anything like this. So he says, they say, number one, buy back 300 million Jasmy tokens through the secondary market and put it into the fund with the initial capital. Select Binance, Gate, Huobi, Coinbase as the repurchase channel. So that's pretty fascinating. So if we look at the actual chart here, This is what it looks like on Coinbase right now. So we had been getting more and more red selling volume, and then all of a sudden, massive green volume spikes. And I noticed that, and I wasn't sure what it was or what was going on. I have to fully admit that this chart and the way the volume has been working in this thing, it isn't really like any others that I've seen. It's a little out there in terms of what's happening. Now, is this a good thing? Yeah, absolutely this is a good thing. They're buying back 300 million tokens, okay? So this is exactly what Hera's talking about. Look at these green buying spikes. Pretty awesome, right? So that's a really good thing that they're buying that back. I find that interesting. Now, going back to the post here, we're going to go back to Hera's page. Hera did mention, I think it might be this one right here. Let me check this. So let's translate this tweet. It may be the following tweet below. Our service aims to be introduced at financial institutions that require extremely high security levels, and we have a track record of discussing how to proceed with the financial services agency in charge. Okay, fair enough. Obviously from their background at Sony, that's where all that would come from. And then this one right here, I think this was the main one. Let me check it. Here you go. So I feel very deep resentment and strong anger about the current situation. I'm not completely happy with this situation. There are facts that are completely hampering and facing greater challenges in our business. I am keenly aware of the need to improve the situation as soon as possible. So, what I'm taking from that is though he hasn't commented directly on circulating supply, and he also hasn't commented in that thread that I posted that has a lot of people commenting in it. It tells me that he is aware of it, right? That's what he's talking about right here. Okay. Now, here's where this gets a little interesting. So, first of all, what I think is going on is I think the various exchanges they've gotten on so many different exchanges. Okay. So, for anybody who's not familiar with this, the average crypto project, maybe joins, let's say, 2 or 3 exchanges a year. Well, Jasmy joined basically like as many as possible right off the bat, right to start. And I think when they did that, they essentially then have been forced to provide liquidity to all of these exchanges. And maybe that's why some cryptocurrency projects don't do that, for example, why they only join, 1 or 2, maybe 3 a year. Well, Jasmy joined like everything. They're on everything. Okay. They're all over the place. So I think they've had to then supply liquidity to all of these various exchanges. And I think they're the ones with the 500 million token wallets that are then sending those out to the various exchanges, which is what I showed in my last video. Okay. Now, here's where this really gets interesting. So, if you haven't seen the video that I posted yesterday on Veracity, when I was researching them in their Medium page, they actually had this exact same thing come up and they commented on it in Medium. So I want to show you that, and I want to show the whole Jasmy community this because it's absolutely relevant with Jasmy. All right. So here's the article from Medium with Veracity, and it says Veracity's circulating supply, the final answer addressing your questions. I saw this and like the light bulb went off. It was like, OMG, this is what I've been talking about. Okay. This is sort of what I've wanted Jasmy to do, is post an article like this. But this article may actually answer a lot of the questions that Jasmy would be answering. All right. So, first of all, they said, our community has recently been quite vocal. And by the way, this is back from November on Veracity, about whether our circulating supply is as stated by CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So, they say we have a great community and we want to be fully transparent with you. So, here's their detailed answer. So, Veracity has requested an update from CoinMarketCap several times. The response is that the circulating supply is updated and correct based on CMC's grading rubric. That's interesting. Okay. So, in my other videos, I've talked about this, that where is everybody getting this circulating supply number from, right? So Etherscan sources it from CoinMarketCap, and CoinGecko gets it from CoinMarketCap. So where does CoinMarketCap get it? Well, this is in essence how they get it, right? So they say, please understand we have our own grading rubric to calculate circulating supply, which is applied across the board for all coins listed on our site. We do not simply take the figures from APIs because we have a different calculation schematic. Okay, so according to our rubric, so they say here, circulating supply is the best approximation of the number of coins that are circulating. Okay, total supply, max supply, whatever. As a result, we do not consider tokens that are held by the team, privately allocated to big investors, or put away for future use as part of circulating supply. This is regardless of whether the tokens are unlocked, able to be traded on exchanges, or will be distributed in the future. This is why we track all the addresses so that we can update the circulating supply information dynamically as tokens flow into circulation. In your case, we have taken out tokens from your team, private investors, marketing, and other wallets from the circulating supply. So that's interesting, right? And then it goes on here to say, although Veracity did point out to CoinMarketCap the number of tokens on exchanges, and in the staking program, we provided all wallets and data per their request significantly exceeds their valuation of circulating supply. To that, CoinMarketCap came back and said this is regardless of whether the tokens are unlocked, able to be traded on exchanges, or will be distributed in the future, i.e., on exchanges but not circulating because they're held by private investors, or in locked wallets for the Foundation Reserve and team. So it says, as you well know, CoinMarketCap is the world's standard and coined the concept of circulating supply in crypto. Okay, fine. Now, where it really gets interesting is down here. So it says they have deemed that the vast majority of Veracity tokens on exchanges are not part of circulating supply, and this is bolded, because some of the largest exchange wallets are cold wallets. I was completely unaware of that. Okay. So that is why they may not be taking into account the Jasmy supply. Okay. Now, they do go on to say in this particular article that, we note that CoinMarketCap's been increasing supply over the last few months. So it seems that their algorithm's working in the right direction. And it just goes on to say, it's all about transparency, etc. So I find this absolutely fascinating because I think this is what happened with Jasmy. And something else that they mentioned, I can't remember where it is here in this article. Oh, here it is, right at the top. So, from our perspective, a higher circulating supply would provide a higher market cap and a better ranking. And they're right. So really, it's the CoinMarketCap algorithm that was holding them back. Now, where I think that's relevant to Jasmy in particular is the market cap in Jasmy on CoinMarketCap has been dropping for quite a while now. Okay. It originally, I think it was over, 100 million market cap, whatever. It has since dropped all the way down to 72 million. Now, granted, today it's up 18.91%, but it was significantly higher than that. And so, in my view, the circulating supply number, because it is wrong, is actually hampering Jasmy because, first of all, there's a lot more tokens that are out there and their market cap should be a lot higher than it is. So, because they took the strategy to get on, as many exchanges as possible right up front, um, this is almost a double-edged sword where now it's hindering them because the data in CoinMarketCap is not accurate on circulating supply. So there is far more than this. So this number on 4.75 billion has been the same number for quite a while now. And I wanted to show you on Etherscan, if we're looking here. So on Etherscan, let me see here, Binance, Jasmy token. I think we're going to go back to the main Jasmy front page here. Let's go back to this. Okay, Jasmy coin loading right now. And come on. Here we go. There we go. All right. So here are the latest transactions that are in here. Now, what I want to show you in particular is the holders, because this is where it gets interesting. So when I did my last video roughly a week ago, there were 27 of these 500 million token wallets. Today, there are 22, which would mean that 2.5 billion tokens have been removed from those wallets. Now, where those tokens have fully dispersed to, it's anyone's guess. But what it means is that circulating supply number is a lot higher than what it's showing on CoinMarketCap. So the CoinMarketCap number is really affecting Jasmy to their own detriment on this. All right. Now, what else is interesting is that up here now in the top 10 we're starting to see some of the exchanges. Binance 8, there's this MEXC right here, Bittrex, right? These are all up here in the top. And I think this is indicative of all of those coins going out to the various exchanges in order to provide liquidity. Okay. So the bottom line here with all of this is we still don't really have a clear picture of the remaining, 500 million token wallets. But obviously, Hera is well aware of what's happening here. And like I said, I think it's a double-edged sword on the one hand, it's really bullish and really good to get on as many exchanges as possible. But the flip side of that is that then you have to then provide liquidity to all of those. And by doing so now, CoinMarketCap is not figuring that in to the circulating supply, which is then hurting the project because the actual market cap should be a lot higher. All right. And, the other thing is the more tokens that are out there for Jasmy, the better. That's a good thing, right? We want more tokens on the market. Okay. So overall, regarding token supply, I find it absolutely fascinating that CoinMarketCap doesn't figure in those cold wallets. It's just kind of odd. I'm not really sure why that is, because you would think that once it leaves Jasmy and goes to the exchange, then technically it's in the circulating supply. But they apparently do not view it that way. And why it then only updates, months down the road, I'm not really sure. Now, I would say with veracity that, in the time from my last video to the one I did yesterday was 10 months. And at the time of yesterday's video, most of the supply was out there, far more than what I mentioned in that article. So it did ultimately catch up. Now, will it probably happen with Jasmy the same way? Yeah, it probably will. Okay. Do I still think Jasmy could use a good Medium post, though, talking about this? Yeah, absolutely. But what everybody needs to be aware of is that really the coin market cap circulating supply number isn't right. It's not right. And because it's not right, it's negatively impacting, the community, the investors, etc. So the sooner that number gets updated from 4.75 billion, the better. So, this isn't accurate at all. Now, a positive thing is if you look at the wallets holding, still going up, right? Now, we kind of leveled off over the last day or so. But honestly, that could just be on, this latest spike for somebody who's, playing the price action on this thing, turning around and flipping it. So not really concerned about that. In the long run, wallets keep going up, and that's a very bullish thing. But what we really need updated is this circulating supply number. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes to wrap up the video with some final thoughts. Here at the Keeping It Real Finance channel, we need your support. All of the content on this channel is entirely organic, meaning we did the video on a topic that we simply like, or we did it because of a request from one of you, our viewers. So that being said, if you enjoyed today's video and would like to support the channel, there are multiple ways you can do that to help us to continue to create and level up our content. Our affiliate links will be available in the video description to cover platforms we endorse and use ourselves. Support the channel today and earn sign-up bonuses along the way. We also have a merch shop available with links below the video or directly by visiting KIRfinance.myspreadshop.com, where we offer tons of great designs and product options. We've got everyone in the family covered. Help support us by picking up merch and sharing your photo on social media. We may even send you an NFT. Speaking of NFTs, at OpenSea.io we have our NFT series, The Liberty or Death Crossroads, available now. Pick one up today and enjoy special upcoming perks and exclusive content with our planned upcoming courses, Patreon, and Discord group. If you're a reader and simply looking to step up your game in personal finance, I also wrote a book in 2015 titled Driving Through Potholes: Financial Strategy and Life Lessons for Those Looking to Rediscover the American Dream. The book is available now at Amazon in Kindle and paperback. And lastly, if you'd simply like one-on-one consulting, feel free to reach out anytime at keepingitrealsince1982@gmail.com. We greatly appreciate your support today, and now let's get back to the video. So for some final thoughts today on this Jasmy update. First of all, I think Hera's post kind of describing his frustrations is very similar to what Veracity was saying in their Medium post. It's almost identical, right? And I think the project is getting frustrated because the numbers are not accurate in what's being reported in CoinMarketCap. And if those numbers were accurate, we would have a higher market cap, a higher circulating supply. Things would make a little more sense. All of that kind of needs to work itself out, and it seems like it will over time, just like Veracity did, but it took months for that to happen. So in the meantime, it makes it look like the Jasmy supply is far lower than it actually is that's out there circulating, all right? So that's one issue here. Outside of that, the two news pieces with the airdrop, that's a real big deal. As well as the the happiness and the AI. I'm not quite sure what that means entirely, but the fact that they're looking into another project with it, that's a good development. That means that they're looking to expand, right? So positive. I like that. Regarding the wallets that are holding the 500 million tokens each, right? So in my last video, we had 27 of them. As of today, we have 22. So we have dropped 5 of those, all right? So that's pretty substantial. That's 2.5 billion tokens that are possibly in the market, right? Could we be dropping more? I don't know. To be determined, right? We still need more information there, which is why I'm still petitioning Jasmy for a Medium post to, just elaborate a little bit, with some of these developments. That would be helpful, all right? Now, outside of all of that, the Jasmy Foundation Metaverse Fund, that's awesome. That's really cool. And it's really cool that they're buying back 300 million tokens. So that is absolutely why the chart is pumping right now. That's a great thing. Again, every time I look at Jasmy, I think the team of this one can't be stopped, right? I mean, how can they? I mean, think about it, right? These guys are all executives from Sony Japan. How could this thing be stopped? And I think, again, what it is this is their very first time into the world of cryptocurrency. This is the very first time they've listed on all these different exchanges. Could there be some missteps in here? Possibly. And it kind of looks like that's part of this. Could there be some frustration potentially with the language barriers? Possibly. That could be part of it too, because most of Jasmy's communication, the whole team, it's all Japanese, right? So there could be some of that here as well. Now, overall, I do like that Hera, essentially is acknowledging that there's some issues here. He's frustrated by it. They want to work through it. I think the best way to do that, again, is through something like a Medium post. Now, in terms of what everybody out there in the community needs to know, well, why do these wallets, why have they been unloading? My personal view is that they're providing liquidity to the exchanges, and because they're on so many exchanges, that's why there's so many coins that have been going out. In comparison to the Veracity video, over the last 10 months, they added 3 exchanges. My last video on Jasmy, it was like a couple of months, they added 4, okay? So they've been adding way more exchanges, and with that, they have to supply significantly more liquidity. Now, when that liquidity is then going to the exchange and it drops into a cold wallet, well, then CoinMarketCap's not counting it at all, even though Jasmy has released it to the exchange, which is just, I don't know. I don't understand that math from CoinMarketCap. And I find it a little frustrating that somebody like Etherscan doesn't have their own number. How are they sourcing this from CoinMarketCap? But like the Veracity article said, CoinMarketCap is the ones who coined circulating supply. So maybe that's why everybody is taking the number from them and not creating it themselves, okay? You know, maybe that's something Jasmy could do. Tell us what you think the actual circulating supply number is, or roughly where it is. That would go a long way, okay? So overall here, I think we actually have a lot of questions that are kind of answered in a way, even though we haven't had a direct full-on post on something like Medium by the team at Jasmy, okay? So the bottom line here, you know, the airdrop, very positive. The further research and development, yep, that's positive. Hera admitting frustration in some of this, I think that's kind of positive, you know. Now, granted, the community doesn't really want to hear frustration. They want to hear, what are you doing about it, right? That's what we want to hear. What are you doing about it? What's your next step? In terms of the rest of those 500 million token wallets, could they be coming out? Yeah, of course they could. I don't see why not with all these exchanges, unless the team specifically says, hey, we're not doing that. Kind of like with this metaverse fund where they said, hey, we're definitely buying back 300 million tokens. And you can see it in the volume in the chart, right? So that's where it kind of leaves us for today. I think the Veracity article really kind of brings it home with the Jasmy community on part of what's going on here. So that's very eye-opening in my view. If you want to find that article, all you have to do is go to medium.com/Veracity, and you can find that article that specifically talks about circulating supply and all their correspondence back and forth with CoinMarketCap. Because you could hear it in their article where they were frustrated with CoinMarketCap as well, because the number should have been higher, and if the number was higher, they'd be ranked higher. Their market cap would look a lot better. The community would have a better understanding. And I think all those things are kind of right now hindering Jasmy because the market cap keeps going down, right, when it should be going up, and their ranking should be going up, but then it's not because of this CoinMarketCap formula. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget that I am also on Twitter at KIR Finance, where you can find me tweeting and retweeting on a regular basis. Check me out there. And lastly, for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back, tells it like it is. I will see you on the next one. Later.